Man, isn't that a sad sight? I got literal cobwebs on my bike. It's been a very, very long winter. So, let's fix that. Hey there, Walt here from WaltInPA, and today I bring you the very first motorcycle video / vlog in a long time. It's been quite a winter, and actually kind of a hell of a summer too. We were kind of wet here in Pennsylvania, quite a bit of rain, and when it wasn't raining, there were days when it was just oppressively hot. So it seemed like no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get my schedule to mesh up with the weather. And I did very little riding last year. Sad. I mean, a couple thousand miles across both bikes at the most. No real significant rides. I did meet up with the guys from the WaltInPA Discord a handful of times, it's always fun. I really like hanging out with those guys. But we went from summer, which normally would have lots of riding, and fall that would have lots of riding, into a horrible winter. I mean, a friend was telling me the other day that it was reported that Pennsylvania has had its coldest winter since the 1930s. We had days that were several degrees below zero with the wind chill, and as you can see from the snow scattered about, we've had quite a bit of it. A couple of small snow occurrences, like an inch, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches. We've had a few of those throughout the winter, and then we just kind of got walloped at the end. The storm before last was reported to drop about a foot of snow. I think we got 8 to 10 inches. And then a week and a half after that, which is what you see, the remnants of what you see here, was a storm that was supposed to drop 12 to 16 inches on us. Well, we got lucky in this area. We only got maybe 4 inches. Down in Philly, man, I think they got like 14. And there were other places that got like 2 feet. So, yeah, this weather has not been, just hasn't meshed up for riding. So today is like the very first day since, before Christmas, that I had a free afternoon, or a free little period of time, and the weather worked. It is the last day in February, and the weather is in the high 50s today. So we're going to be seeing a lot of runoff on these back roads. And I'll have to be extra careful because there's all kinds of crud in the road. Gravel, salt, cinders in some cases, sand. It doesn't look too bad here, but I've been in my car driving around to a few places, and man, some of the back roads that I've seen there have been atrocious. Big potholes that have kind of lifted out of the ground. You got gravel and all kinds of stuff just strewn about. So it's one of those times when I really wanted to get out and ride, but you also have to be careful. So under normal circumstances, I like to ride up until Christmas. It's kind of like my drop dead point. Like if I can get till Christmas, I'm happy. And anything after Christmas, between Christmas and spring, is just it's just the icing on the cake, so to speak. Well, this year, I'm pretty sure I didn't make it till Christmas. And then, to make matters worse, this is the first I've been out in 2026. So, in the past, there's always been 1 month that has been relatively mild. So, sometimes January is mild enough where you can get out and get a couple rides in. Maybe you get temperatures in the mid to high 40s one day. The sun is shining, sky is clear, and you think, oh, you know what the hell? Let's get out there and take a ride. And those days are awesome. And then some years it's bitter cold, rain, snow, just nasty in January. But February lets up, and you get an opportunity to get out and ride. This year, I mean, with the exception of one day, there has just been no opportunity to get out and ride. Oh, by the way, I'm lost. But it doesn't matter. So, since I haven't been riding, what have I been up to? And the answer to that question is I really built on, or doubled down on, something I talked about in the last video I recorded, which was my cigar podcast. So back in like August, or about August, I guess, some friends and I decided we were going to create a cigar podcast. We hang out together once a week, almost always, sometimes twice a week. And this one day, or this one night, we had met up at this local social club. We were smoking cigars, laughing, carrying on about something, and Eric made a comment that, oh, we should make this a podcast. That would be fun. And that one little throwaway comment led to actually creating a podcast. And it has been a tremendous amount of work and also a ton of fun to do that. So when this thing got started, I really didn't know what to expect from a participation standpoint. I mean, Mark's a pretty reserved guy. I didn't know if he was going to be into it. Eric, I figured Eric would be down. Jim, man, he's been smoking cigars for 50 years, and I just didn't know if he would have time for that nonsense or have any interest whatsoever in that nonsense. And then there, of course, was me, who's, done motovlogging and cigar content in the past, so it was like no big deal. So we made it happen. We got together, the four of us recorded our first episode, and it was fun. It was a little rough. I mean, there was some nervousness and awkward silences, but we pushed on, enjoyed it, and then continued to do it week after week ever since. Okay, not lost anymore. I haven't been down here in quite a while. So anyway, the plan was to have the four of us sit in on this podcast. We were going to do it all in person, no remoting in, any of that stuff that you typically see with podcasts these days. And I thought, that'll give us a unique edge, because let's take advantage of our proximity. So it's just loads of fun. And as it turns out, a bunch of our friends wanted to get in on it as well. So in addition to me, Eric, Mark, and Jim, we've also got Rob, the other Eric, who we refer to as Eric the Elder. You've got Preston, you've got Mike, you've got Eddie on the streets, you've got, most recently, Mike, Sergeant Major Mike, Bruce, Glenn was on, and I'm sure, Matt was on, Chase was on. They're like, man, it's a quite an extensive list of our, local friends. We all got to know each other through a local cigar lounge, and it's just, it's just a friendship and lots of ball busting and cigar talk. And as Jim likes to say, like, we're friends before anything else. So that's kind of the heart of the show. Is just we're we're a bunch of friends doing what friends do, busting balls, laughing, telling jokes, having fun, and the cigar kind of becomes the conduit for the conversation. So really, really cool. We've seen tremendous growth since we started in this 6-7 months, however long it's been, and I feel like it's just starting to click. Like right now, it's just starting to come together from a reach perspective. So, our views were fairly low early on, and then our shorts caught fire. We were seeing, between Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, we were at like 110,000 shorts a month, or it's 110,000 views on the shorts a month, which is really impressive for a YouTube channel, or a cigar podcast that's got, at that time, had less than 150 subscribers. Now I think we're at the 250 mark, but we're seeing that. So the shorts have dropped off tremendously because of changes at Meta and YouTube for taboo products. Products that are allowed on the platform, but tobacco being tobacco, it is a regulated topic. Regulated is probably a bad word. They just don't allow it to be pushed to new audiences. So you've got to rely on people that to like, comment, and share, and you can't rely on just like new people to casually stumble upon it because of their shorts feed, which really, it stung when that happened, but it is what it is. And despite that, our watch hours have grown considerably. Views on the podcast episodes have been quite satisfying. We're getting a couple hundred views per episode, which is awesome. Again, for a podcast as young as ours, I'm very pleased with the progress. And it has been a tremendous amount of work, but it's been fun. So that's what I've been up to. We're going to continue to grow that podcast. And now that riding weather is here, I'm going to be looking forward to, well, I shouldn't say riding weather is here. It's close. It's right around the corner. Just got a freak day today, I think. Now that riding season is almost here, I'm looking forward to getting back out on the bike, because it's been a little depressing, hanging out in the garage, smoking cigars, and looking over and seeing my poor bikes just sitting there. I got these out today, and there were cobwebs like draped on the MT-09, cobwebs on the Ninja 400. It was crazy because right before, I guess it would have been around Christmas time actually, before the riding season ended, I got out my pressure washer and I washed both bikes. So they were all shiny and clean when I put them away, but that did not last long. So there's your quick little update on what I've had going on over the past few months and kind of what the future holds. Looking forward to just, getting out on the bike again. It's been a bit too long. I really hope that the weather cooperates. Speaking of weather cooperating, the guys from the WaltInPA Discord, every year we get together during the winter for a little luncheon. It's we pick a restaurant or a diner or something, and we all drive out, usually because it's too cold. Bring the wives, and we just kind of get together and hang out for a couple of hours, catch up, since we can't really ride. And that was scheduled for last weekend when we were supposed to get dumped on with like a foot of snow. So we have postponed that until next week. And I'm really looking forward to getting together with the guys. I hope that this year, everyone's schedule and the weather sort of work out better, and we can get together for several group rides. That's always a fun time. Actually, come to mention it, I think that it is safe to say I enjoy group riding more than I do solo riding. Not that I don't enjoy this, but I kind of like getting on the comms and socializing with the guys as we ride on down the road. And I really miss that. So hopefully we can remedy that situation in a couple of weeks, or at the most a month or so. I don't know, Punxsutawney Phil, I hope you're wrong. Really don't need what has it been? Really don't need 3 more weeks of this mess. Anyway, that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.